Air Japan is not your typical low-cost carrier. With only one wide-body, being the Boeing 787 in its fleet, its ANAs answer the Zipair, Japan's other Boeing 787 low-cost carrier, owned by Japan Airlines. Launched in March of 2022 and flying its first commercial flight in less than 2 years in February this year, is Japan's newest airline. Coincidentally, both Zipair and Air Japan happen to fly to the same places in Asia, such as Singapore, Bangkok, and Seoul from Tokyo Narita. So do watch this video where I'll show you and tell you more about this airline as we make our way from Tokyo to Singapore. With that out of the way, let me transport you back to Tokyo Narita Airport, where this journey begins. Welcome to Short Transit. We are a small group of passionate travelers based in Singapore. From our tiny red dot, we aim to bring you along on journeys around the world, mainly focusing on Asian travel. Stay tuned for more independent and informative trip reviews like this one. We just started our quest to fly on every Asian flight carrier, so if you really like our videos and would like to help us grow, do give us a like and subscribe to our channel. And do visit our Patreon in the link below if you would like to contribute financially for some perks. Thank you! Hello from a bustling Terminal 1 here at Narita Airport, where Air Japan has its main hub in Tokyo. Sharing the same terminal with its parent company ANA, surprisingly, it doesn't use the more low-cost Terminal 3 with Peach Airlines, ANA's other low-cost carrier. Speaking of Peach Airlines, parent company ANA doesn't seem to want Air Japan to associate itself with Peach Airlines, and instead is trying to position itself in between ANA themselves and Peach Airlines, which is an interesting strategy. After the quick immigration and security check, we're now at the airside. Now here's the plane taking us back to Singapore this evening. This 12-year-old Boeing 787-8 originally delivered to ANA. This particular aircraft is Air Japan's first ever aircraft, having only been transferred and reconfigured from ANA in January 2024. Delivery does look quite simple and light, with a very fitting colour scheme which represents the colours of sunrise, and the rather iconic logo on the tail, which is an emblem of two hands. It's soon time for me to board this aircraft. Quite excited to see what it's like inside.
Thank you.
Our aircraft is fitted only with economy class seats and a 333 configuration with no business class on board, sitting up to 324 passengers. These seats kinda look familiar. Turns out, they're using the exact same slimline seat model as the one we took on Malaysia Airlines' new Boeing 737 MAX 8. Just that these have headrests while Malaysia Airlines don't. And unlike other low-cost carriers, Air Japan's legroom is quite generous, with each seat having at least 32 inches of seat pitch, which is on par with what Singapore Airlines provide on their planes. Given that these planes are mainly flying to medium-haul destinations, a lot of passengers will definitely appreciate the more than usual legroom on a low-cost carrier. Looking out of the window, we can see Air Japan's other Boeing 787, which is flying to Bangkok this evening. So far, these two aircraft basically make up the whole entire fleet at Air Japan, with another 4 coming in by the end of 2025 from ANA. Now that we're in the air, let's talk about the route we're flying on today. The Tokyo Narita to Singapore route has quite a lot of competition, with a total of 6 airlines operating up to 7 flights a day on this route. all operating on wide-body aircrafts like the Boeing 787 and the Boeing 777. Given the competition, fares on the low-cost carriers can start from 139 Singapore dollars when I book 1 month in advance, which is quite a big discount when compared with the fares charged by the full-service carriers, which mainly target business and connecting passengers. That being said, fares to and from Tokyo tend to skyrocket during the year-end holidays when thousands embark on winter escapes to Japan, so do avoid that period so that you can avoid the high fares. Our seat on board today's aircraft is quite well equipped for a low-cost carrier, with both USB-A and C available to charge your devices, and a flip-down phone holder. Below that, we have a standard-sized tray table and a fold-down cup holder. At the bottom, there's a separate seat pocket to put your stuff. And lastly, look at that legroom. You're definitely not getting that on Scoot unless you pay extra. The meals on board Air Japan are unlike what you'll find on other airlines. Besides the usual microwavable rice dishes, they happen to sell sushi as well, which is quite unusual in economy class, let alone on a low-cost carrier. For our dinner tonight, we each pre-ordered 2 different sushi sets and 1 rice dish to try. Let's take a look at what my friend ordered first, the omakase style sushi box. Wow! The quality and presentation of the dish definitely looks quite appetizing for an in-flight meal, with various cuts of seafood, both raw and cooked. For me, I ordered the omusubi rice ball bento. Look at that presentation. It really looks like those bento sets that are sold at train stations across Japan. Both dishes were served cold as intended and tasted amazing. Never thought I would be able to eat this on a plane, let alone on a low-cost airline. Now, let's take a look at the hot meal my friend ordered, the oyakodon. Pieces of chicken, onions, and eggs are simmered in an unami-rich sauce and then poured over the steamed rice. This staple Japanese meal is simple and delicious. Even though these might be more expensive than your typical low-cost carrier meal, the quality of the food that you get is absolutely unmatched, a league of its own. They really do quite well with the beautiful presented and delicious meals. If you did not manage to pre-book your meal beforehand, there are still some drinks, Japanese-style snacks, and meals you can order through the online portal, which we will take a look at in a bit. Do note that if you choose to sit in the front section from rows 1 to 9, you will get free non-alcoholic drinks from the cabin crew. After enjoying the scrumptious meal, it's time for some entertainment. Air Japan chose not to fit the aircraft with in-flight entertainment screens, as with most low-cost carriers, but it does have a simple online portal accessible with the in-flight Wi-Fi. There are not a lot of shows and movies on the system, so do download some movies if you need them. After seeing all these, you may be wondering, how did this airline go from launch to start of operations in just under 2 years? Actually, Air Japan has existed in some form since the 1990s as a charter airline, and throughout the years, the same air operator certificate has been used to operate flights on behalf of ANA since 2001, operating aircraft types like the Boeing 767s and Boeing 787s. To form this latest version of Air Japan, all ANA needed to do was to rebrand the existing Air Japan by creating a new corporate identity, accompany it with a low-cost airline business plan, plus reconfigure some of the 787s already in Air Japan to an all-economy layout, all while using the same air operator certificate. With quite a lot of airlines operating to and from Tokyo nowadays, it's operating in quite a competitive air travel market with generally low fares. So let's see if Air Japan is able to survive and thrive in this market segment. Welcome back to Singapore. To sum up, it has been a pretty decent flight on board Air Japan with a well-equipped and spacious seat and the delicious food on board. It has shown that operating a high-quality, low-cost airline is possible, and flying a low-cost airline doesn't always have to be a miserable experience. They are a great alternative to the existing pool of budget airlines in the market, such as AirAsia X and Scoot, often charging similar or cheaper fares than them while offering a much better experience. So I definitely do recommend Air Japan if you happen to chance upon them in your next adventure. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you next time.